right, well, welcome to first grade curriculum night. If you have any questions at the tables that you are at, there are post-it notes as well as pencils or pens for you to write down your questions. We will answer whenever we can at the end of the slideshow. I am Ms. Hutchinson. I am your child's teacher. They're in 1A. A little bit about me. This is my 4th year officially teaching, but I've been at Lakeside for 6 years. I started off in pre-K, so some of your friends or their siblings might know me. So yes, I've been around, and I'm originally from Illinois.
I'm Danny Todd. I am the teacher of 1B. A couple of my little friends are here. This is the start of my 31st year. I started teaching at 12. I'm originally from Ohio, and I have a son that's a senior football player, so your kids may come home hearing stories about him because he's my world.
This is our daily schedule. You can also find us outside of either of our classroom doors, as well as on every newsletter at the bottom of the newsletter. Win time, if you don't know what that means, it just stands for what I need. So during that time, we may do whole group lessons where we're extending on some learning where we notice that learners are struggling, or we might be pulling small groups to help directly engage with some of those friends who didn't understand the lesson that we were working on. The best form of communication for us is email. Our conference time is when learners are in special, so 12:35 to 1:25. That is when you would typically get an email from us. We do have 24 hours to respond, so just be patient with us. We will get back to you. If it's a question that we don't know the answer to, it may take us a minute to find someone who can help us so that we can help you. We also do have our newsletter, as you all receive every Friday. And then we have Parent Square also. You guys can message us there as well. If you need to change transportation at all, please let us know by noon. If it is any later than that, please call the front office. That way they can call us in the class.
Okay, here's the good stuff. I don't know why this is there. We do for reading, phonics, writing, we use the Lucy Calkins Units of Study. Like it says here, it builds a learning community in the classroom. We, during workshop for reading and phonics, we do a mini lesson, and then we pull small groups and work on skills that we have been learning throughout the week. And we pull strategy groups, and it's about, we just focus on the comprehension and fluency. For the writing, again, it's the units of study, and that is also the workshop model. We do a mini lesson as well, and then all kids in the workshop model may be at different points in their story. So some may be just starting their first draft, others may be editing, some may be doing their final copy, and as they're working on it, then we can pull learners and help them where they're struggling or any activity that they may struggle with. Grammar, we actually have a new kind of grammar program, but it's basically the nouns. Right now we're focusing on capitals and punctuation and putting space between our words. So if that's something you want to work on at home, if they read a book, you could have them like write their favorite part or something, and as they're writing, make sure they're putting spaces and using capitals at the beginning. We still struggle with that. Let's see what else we have. Are you science?
Yes. For science, we focus on a lot of hands-on learning. We tend to see that kids, especially at this age group, they have a better response to that when they're able to physically touch things and manipulate things. So we focus on life science, physical science, and earth science. Social studies, we focus a lot on community, so that is what we're doing right now. We're going to transition next week into citizenship. Yes, so we'll talk about how our rules at home and in school and in the community affect us as an individual part of the area that we live in. And then we'll go into goods and services, maps, and much more. We already did historical figures, so maybe you've heard some conversation about that. Your learners were assigned either with a partner or individually a historical figure, and they got to do some research. Again, with math, we like to use manipulatives. So we might use counting bears or snapping cubes. And we're just really focusing on making sure that they understand numbers and the different strategies to help them solve both addition and subtraction problems as well as word problems. We will introduce word problems later on in the school year. I know a lot of friends in my class, I don't know about your class, but they were like, I'm ready for that. Like, that's what I want to do. I even had some friends asking about multiplication and division because they might go to tutoring or something like that, or they just love numbers. But they'll have to wait for second grade for that.
I thought of something. We do the math workshop model as well, like the workshop model, and that way if they are, we have little groups that we will have, and so some kids may need a little help with this activity, some may need help with this skill, so we do pull small groups for that as well.
We also utilize Dreambox as a digital learning tool that is a district tool, so it's not just them playing on their iPads. And we input their map score into Dreambox to make sure that what they're doing focuses on what they are ready to be learning. So if we're doing small groups, we might have another small group that's focusing on Dreambox while we're working with the kids physically.
Oh, here's the good stuff. So snacks, we prefer no liquid snacks, so no juice boxes, they have water. And it's a snack, so we prefer just one snack, not a lunch, and avoid cheesy things like Cheez-Its, or not Cheez-Its, but Cheetos, Doritos, because their fingers are orange, and sometimes we work during snack and we don't want everything to be orange. Right now we are not nut-free, so they can bring in nuts. If we get a new student, we will definitely let you know and ask that you do not send in any snack that has peanuts in it. The classroom expectations. We made as a group, as a class, we each made classroom rules that the kids voted on. And we talked about cafeteria expectations, recess expectations. If after a few reminders we're still having difficulty with a certain behavior, we may send home a think sheet, bright yellow, and that child has to write what they chose to do, what they will choose next time or should choose, and a little thing for parent comments. And we just ask, if this comes home, please discuss it with your child so that they can grow from it and make good choices from then on, and sign it and return. This also kind of goes along with, we have the class dojo, and you should have gotten a sheet on Meet the Teacher, so you could have joined and you can see if they got a dojo, what the dojo was for, if they lost a dojo, and what that was, the reason for that. And at the end of the week, they get first grade bucks. So if they have 20 dojos, they get 20 bucks, and they can buy certain things like have shoes off or eat with a friend at another table, or if they save up enough, eat with the teacher in the classroom, which they all love. And it's really good, it's great, and that also is a big behavior thing for us to say. We like to encourage positive, so we like to say, oh, you were in a dojo, thank you for walking in the hall quietly, thank you for going to your seat quietly, and we give them the dojos, and like I said, at the end of the week, they get paid, and they can buy things with those dojo points.
Along with that, teachers can also compliment a student from, let's say Ms. Todd compliments one of my students, they can get a dojo through Ms. Todd or another teacher in the building. So they love that because they get like, oh, they noticed me.
And when the principal gives them a compliment, I give double dojo.
Yes.
I don't know what we're talking about homework.
Independence is very big. As you know, we really want them to grow, and the only way we can do that is if we give them some of the tasks that we might have done for them. It helps if you let them pack and unpack their backpack, help pick out their lunch, make sure they grab their snack, not you grab it for them. Remind them about their water bottle as it gets cold in Texas. Make sure they have a jacket, and tying shoes is really big. Me personally, I don't want to tie shoes because, you know, they go in the bathroom, it's wet, and I'm like, what is it wet from?
Especially the boys' bathroom.
Yes. So I'm like, hey, how about, you know, you try first, or you ask a friend who knows how to. So if you don't mind, that would be very helpful. We have, we did include a YouTube video in our newsletter. If that helped, we can put it back in there. But yes, please make sure that you are asserting independence, because we definitely are here.
And along the line of snacks, sometimes you have a learner come in and say, oh, my dad forgot to pack my snack. And I said, well, that's your responsibility. At least ask, hey, what can I bring for snack? You can even, I don't know why, but if you have like a bunch of Cheez-Its you want to put in a bag, and then for the week, that way they don't forget, that's fine too. They just keep it in their cubby. Something sealed, because there is a big old ant problem going on.
We do use a standards-based report card system, and you'll receive a report card every 9 weeks. For homework, we send homework as needed for either the whole class or specific learners. So make sure you're looking out for their red take-home folder. And how we do homework in first grade, if they get homework sent home, they can bring it back upon completion, and they'll receive dojos for that. So we're still trying to entice them to love learning.
And sometimes we have kids that, especially if there's a skill that they're really great at, they've mastered, they'll still ask for the homework for the dojo points. So if you get something home, you're like, my kid could do it,
Yes.
that's why.
Oh, and just make sure you're continuing the reading at home, because as we know, reading is fundamental.
Along with practicing math facts, as we've been going along, I've noticed some of the learners don't know their math facts. We do allow them to use the 100s chart, but we really would like them to master the math facts, because when they get into second grade, they will be doing regrouping, and when you're regrouping, you don't want a child to be like, because then
Mental
they're
math.
losing the skill of the regrouping.
If you want, you can scan that QR code. That'll take you to some of our additional information. As you know, we do have a new system for absences that started last year. That is also included in our newsletter at the bottom. That does not change. Lost and Found is located when you go towards the cafeteria. The kids know where it is, and so far we've been doing good this school year. Nothing lost.
Usually when it gets to be around colder, that's
Yeah.
when we see things, because it's cold in the morning but hot in the afternoon, and like it says label, even mittens, scarf, whatever, label it, because if in water bottles, if it's found, they can get it back to the learner and not have it in a pile of clothes.
Take-home folders, like I said, it'll be sent home as needed. So just make sure that you and your learner together, at Independence, that you're checking backpacks to make sure there was nothing sent home.
Okay, assessment. So we do big fall, beginning, middle, and end. We just did our beginning of the year math and reading, and we will do it mid-year and end of the year, and that way you can see the growth that they've made, and they can see the growth that they've made. It's for reading and math. It is on their iPads. We didn't have any issues in my class at all. Just kidding. We, as like for running records, like during reading, we might do a running record just to see what level they are on, and if they're made a jump in a level, we group them by levels just so that we can work with the ones that would need to work on comprehension, or the one that needs to work on decoding, or the ones that need to work on fluency. We also do an M-class assessment, which is individual, so it's one-on-one on our iPads, and we test. It's actually a dyslexia screener, so that if a child is at risk or scores below, we know what we need to focus on with them, and if it's something that maybe we need to take further and discuss in a CTT meeting with our admin. Bless you.
And then along with this, I know we said this earlier, but for those of you who came in, everyone in first grade gets screened for GT. So if you are interested in that or concerned about that, your child will be tested. And we do use math to help with the checkpoints for that.
It's one of the data points. Oh, sorry guys.
This is why I was supposed to.
Okay, so
No, I'm just
uh-oh.
kidding.
There we go. That's where we are.
Yes. If you've been paying attention to the newsletter, the menu for breakfast and lunch is always linked as well. If you are interested in your child having breakfast, just make sure they're here by 7:20. The bell rings at 7:40, so anything after that, they will be considered tardy. And then we go to lunch every day at 11.
Along with that, if they are buying, you may want to discuss what they're going to buy, because there are 2 kindergarten and 2 first grade going through one line, and it, especially on pizza day, tends to be very long, and they need like pepperoni or cheese, corn, bread, broccoli, no broccoli. So if they know ahead of time, that makes the line go smoother.
And you can set up restrictions for your child's lunch account. Like if you only want them to have a snack on Fridays or a treat like ice cream, cookies, chips, things like that, you can put a note on there, because I've seen a few already, so kudos to you parents. Yes,
So you just put the note in there, where does the note go?
in the account.
In the account?
I think your
Yeah.
school page or whatever, school bus,
Yeah.
box.
There will be a new note coming from me.
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes we have
Yes.
kids that get an ice cream
Yeah.
and some chips.
And I don't know if you do it, but I stand in the line and I monitor, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, but we're not doing chips, ice cream, and a cookie.
And
We
some-
get one.
Some of the lunches, like pizza day, it comes with some kind of little slush thing.
Yeah.
And then they're getting an ice cream, and then they don't eat the ice cream that they just paid for.
Mhm. And that's like $3 of ice cream, so
Yeah.
we're trying to help watch your pockets.
We also tell them to eat their main items on the tray before the snack. So if you want to discuss that, like make sure you're doing this.
Birthdays, we love celebrating birthdays. We just ask that if you are sending invitations, make sure that everyone in the class is included. We don't want anyone to feel left out. And then treats, make sure they're individually wrapped. We don't eat the treats in class because we want parents to be able to monitor what their child is eating, especially if it's sent from another household. So we will send them home at the end of the day. Make sure we say happy birthday and sing to the friends and say thank you, so using our manners.
And yeah, like she said, I don't know if she said, if you email us ahead of time, say, I'm going to be sending in treats, is this day okay? That way we're aware of it and they don't just show up and.
All right, this year field trip has changed. We are only doing one field trip this school year, and that will be decided. We have to decide between the two which one we feel best suits the kids, which ones they enjoyed the most. And this year you will have to cover the cost of the field trip. That includes transportation for the bus.
Fortunately, we can fit on one bus,
Yes.
so that won't cost as much, and we'll also look at maybe the price between the two so that it's not outrageous.
And we'll have more information about that and what the cost will look like for you all as we decide and get closer to that time.
Oh, you can tell she's the technology person. I'm the old lady that, if you didn't see, which it's been in Just the Facts and our newsletter, that next Friday, September 12th is Special Friends Day. They sent out a little Google Doc link so you can sign up for whoever. Our schedule, so at 10:30 you arrive, and once you're in, you come to the classroom, and they can show you some of the things they've worked on. And then at 10:45 we'll go to the library, and I believe we'll have some activities or books they can read to you. And then from there we'll go to lunch, and you can eat lunch with your child.
If you did not receive the link or you missed out on it, it may have closed already, so just make sure you reach out to the front office. I mean, all are welcome. We're not going to turn you away, but
You
You
may
know,
have to
things
just come
happen.
in and sign in, and
Yeah.
it may take a little longer.
As always, attendance is very important. This does help the district, not just the school. So we want to make sure that you're getting to school on time, you're here every day. We know things happen, we go on trips, we get sick, totally fine. Just make sure that you submit a absence note in the system.
It'll be excused
Yes.
if you submit the note. If it's not, it'll be unexcused.
And tardies do add up, so I forgot how many, but so many tardies add up to an absence.
And if it's a lot of absences, the principal will reach out to you about it, make phone calls.
Yes.
If it gets excessive, they have to have a truancy meeting.
We aren't gonna go into detail about this because, as you can see, it's a lot. But these are all of our special programs and services educators. We have art, our diagnostician, GT, our MLI team, and our librarian. Yes, our new librarian. So just make sure when you review the slides or the recording that you take some time to read over it. If you have any questions, feel free to email or reach out.
There's 3 slides.
Yes.
We have a lot of special
That's why we're
programs.
not reading it. This year we only have 1 learning coach, and then we have our LOST team, which is language and acquisition specialist. Oh, we got our MLI team on there twice.
Whoops, sorry.
They're just that good.
But yeah, they are. Our lost teacher and para push into our classrooms. So if there's a child that does attend ESL.
They also pull out for Imagine Learning if they're ESL friends. And they're directly across the hall from my classroom, if you're ever wondering. And then we have our music teacher. She's on there again. Man, some of these teachers are just good.
Really good.
SPED, PE, speech, STEAM, and our AIM program, which is new this year. STEAM, if you have not been told by your learners, it is separate, so it's not part of specials anymore. It is its own entity, which they love because it's longer. So you get about an hour of STEAM
Just about.
every week.
And that's when we will be holding our conferences.
If not during our planning time.
And if you didn't see, we had sent out in Parent Square a sign up. So please let us know if you didn't see it. And then September 25th is our first grade program. It is held here in the gym for all parents. Before the program, they have a STEAM night where they can go into the cafeteria and they can show you the things they work on in class and explore with different activities. And so it's at 4:45 STEAM and the performance is 5:30 and then the PTO president or somebody will speak right before. That's like the PTO meeting before the program.
There have been some updates and changes to the school library. So just make sure you read over this. And then that QR code will take you to some additional information on the policies that have been implemented by the state.
Here is our GT. You click the QR code or you can click on the link and it gives you more information on the GT program. Any other questions, you can email Miss Warren. She can answer them for you.
This is our guidance counselor. Our classes go to guidance once a week for about 30 minutes. We go directly after the library. So my class, we go on Wednesdays.
I go
on
on
Tuesdays. And you can read over this to learn some more about what to expect when they go to guidance, as well as learn a little bit about our guidance counselor, Mrs. Morgan.
And if your child is having some kind of anxiety or issue, you could always reach out to her and she can pull your child. And she also does little lunches with them. And I know sometimes children, if they're having a problem, say with another child, they're afraid to say anything. You're always welcome to send an email to us and we can watch out for it so that we know what's going on and then we can let the counselor know as well.
Also, in every classroom, we have a QR code for learners to be able to scan with their iPad. so that if they're not feeling comfortable expressing to us, they can reach out to her directly and submit a request to meet with her.
I think.
We made it to the end. Any questions for us?